We just had the most entertaining Federal Reserve speech in history. Like, I honestly believe it was genuinely fun to watch. It was like a Jerome Powell talk show where they got into his life, and it was actually super interesting. And the person interviewing Fed Chair Powell asked the perfect questions about the economy and where the future is headed for monetary policy. So it was super volatile. It was a great event. I definitely recommend watching the latest stream on the Moonshow channel. I'm sure Diego, our moderator, would have posted the timestamps already. So it's a great one to watch if you have time. Watch it on 2x speed. I also go into more detail than I will in this video about what happened during this FOMC speech and why. Again, if you missed the video earlier on today, I'm still uber bullish on Bitcoin. So with that said, let's jump into the price action, guys. We're getting super close to actually 50,000 subscribers. So if you're not subscribed already, make sure to destroy the like button and subscribe. We're 900 subscribers away from 50,000, and it would be incredible if we can reach 50,000 subscribers by the end of the month, which is in 14 days time. I trust you. I think it's possible. But enough said, let's first get into the price of Bitcoin, and then I'll cover what will happen in terms of monetary policy. So the first thing is, guys, in terms of technical patterns, there's always one thing that you want to be looking out for. In old TA books, they tell you that if you're forming any sort of technical pattern, if you're looking for a breakout, always look for some sort of divergence in your favorite oscillator, right? And not only are we getting a divergence on a bullish divergence on a 3-day time frame, a macro time frame, also on different time frames too. So on multi different time frames are we getting a bullish divergence. Also, we're breaking above this falling wedge and retesting this prior resistance to turn it into support, which is incredibly bullish for Bitcoin. Guys, I'm trying to buy as much long positions as much as possible. And if you want to be buying and longing Bitcoin, then links are down in the description of today's video. If you want to be trading cryptocurrencies, if you use the top link in the description, you can actually win a Ferrari, but I'll talk about that in a future video. So just check it out, sign up, and you'll figure it out yourself. But if you want more details on it, I'll upload a separate video talking about how you can win a Ferrari using weeks on tomorrow. There's a very nice bullish sign forming on the price of Bitcoin. And the last time, okay, there we go. So it's just looking super bullish. And I think as soon as we break above this neckline, I'm going to be increasing the leverage on my currently low leverage positions, because breaking above this neckline of the W formation would pretty much increase the probabilities of Bitcoin going up by a significant amount. So there are still risks, but obviously W formation, break above the neckline, then probabilities of a huge pump increases from my standpoint. So not only are we having a falling wedge breakout, bullish divergence on the RSI, we're also having a bullish crossover on the 3-day MACD chart. And the last time this happened, Bitcoin went from $60,000 also towards the ending of the consolidation period it was experiencing. We had this bullish crossover and Bitcoin went from 60,000 all the way to 109K, almost a 2x in price appreciation. So I just think it's a fantastic time to be buying. I'm super bullish. I couldn't be more bullish. And hopefully you can see the same thing that I'm looking at over on the chart. Now, we did have some hawkish comments from Powell, which could be argued that it's actually bearish. But I got to tell you, Bitcoin doesn't care about any of the fundamentals. It doesn't care about these things. Yes, we're having short-term price volatility with tariffs and so on and so forth. And yes, we did dump from 109 all the way to the 70s because of tariffs, you can say. But very interestingly enough, the global liquidity, or M2 money supply, I say it wrong, it's M2 money supply, has actually fallen off from all-time highs many months ago. So global liquidity, the white line you see on this chart, has actually went down many months ago when tariff talk wasn't even in the picture. And Bitcoin, with a over 100-day delay, right, again, going past tariffs, has followed global liquidity exactly. This just goes to show you that global liquidity is what determines, or M2 money supply, sorry for, again, saying it wrong. M2 money supply, the amount of money in circulation, the amount of money printed, is the only determinant of Bitcoin's price action at this current moment in time. And what we can see from this chart is that anytime, basically today, tomorrow, the day after, next week, liquidity, the liquidity correspondence with Bitcoin's price action is going to follow in this huge parabolic trend where Bitcoin will just keep pumping for 2 months straight. And I think starting May, going into June, we're going to see 2 months of full pumpage where Bitcoin can literally hit $120,000 and beyond. The summer months could be a bit stable, where meme coins and Solana sees a bit more traction, and then Q4 maybe another pump before obviously going into a bear market in 2026. So I think the upcoming few months are super bullish. If you look at the actual cycle comparison, you can see huge sort of trendline breakouts in previous cycles after those initial pumps, right? You have a consolidation in the Genesis cycle, then you end up pumping massively more. If you go to 2017, it's even more insane. You have the consolidation right over here, and then again, another 50% of the parabola continues pumping to the upside. In 2021, you have this sort of consolidation period, and the price action, if you look and zoom into right over here, looks very similar to post-COVID vibes. Look, if you compare these two fractals of price action, they look very similar. Bitcoin breaks up from 15,000, we go all the way to $65,000, producing like a 4.5x in returns. I think a similar thing is going to happen very soon. I don't know about a 4.5x return, but I think Bitcoin can easily go above $120,000. So again, make sure to be buying as much Bitcoin as possible. If you have no Bitcoin and if you only have cash, then you can go to Bybit using this link to actually buy Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies for the first time using cash or a bank transfer. That's the best way to buy Bitcoin, and you can do it with a click of a button with Apple Pay as well. So I would just be personally, again, nothing in this video is financial advice, of course, but from all of my analysis that I've been conducting for the past so many months, I think it's looking like a great time to be allocating into Bitcoin. Fear is still at levels that have not been seen before, and you want to be buying when there's fear, not when there's euphoria. So all of these different signs are pointing into the direction of a Bitcoin pump. Unfortunately, quantitative easing is likely going to be delayed, so altcoins could struggle until summer or maybe even after summer, but that doesn't quite affect Bitcoin, I would say. It just shows that Q4 of this year could be even more of a bigger pump than expected, which is great news. They were asking a question about crypto in the conference, and I got super excited, but Powell didn't talk about crypto at all. He only spoke about stablecoins, which I refuse to say is crypto. Apparently, we're going to get CBDCs, and then private institutions will do their own stablecoins. It's just looking like a dystopian future where everybody gets fed up with these different stable coins and these different CBDCs and just funnel their money into Bitcoin. So macro, that is bullish, but don't expect interest rates to be cut in May, or I would say probably even in June, maybe July, maybe September, and then definitely October, December would be when I'm expecting a rate cut. So guys, thank you so much for watching the second video of today. Again, destroy the like, subscribe, and with that said, I'll see you all on the next video tomorrow. So take care, and as always, bye-bye.